Hello, hello everybody. Yeah, now I got this hard task of predicting a huge fight that's coming up now next weekend for Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo. Yeah, this is a really big, probably the biggest fight of, after of course Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. This is the biggest fight of the year, or together with it. Yeah, it is a fight between two undisputed world champions. Uh, Even though I'm not sure really if Canelo is here really undisputed at 168, I believe so. So anyway, yeah, and Charlo of course is undisputed at 154. So this is a matchup against. It is a funny one because even though Charlo is a much taller guy, looks also bigger. I mean, physically than Alvarez. He is the smaller guy in another way because he's coming up from 154. Where also Alvarez once fought, but that was a while ago. So that was the first weight division where he was world champion as well. Canelo. Yes. Hmm. This is a really. This is gonna be hard to predict. I think. Let's take it from the. Let's break it down. Right. First of all, the height and reach advantages in favor of definitely of Charlo. However, that doesn't mean that much because Canelo is used to taking on much higher, taller and rangier opponents. That means with a bigger reach, of course, than his own. Because the way he fights, he uses body attack to break his opponents down. And he's a very good mover, and with a good defense as well. Very fluid, yeah, definitely. And he hits hard, as we know already. He hits punches well above his own weight. So yeah, he's a strong little guy. And Charlo is more like a guy who used to be more of a boxer but became a puncher. Later on, he was converted into a puncher by Derek James, the trainer. Shit. Sorry, my phone fell down. Anyway, where was I? I mean, yeah, Jermel Charlo. He's a rather, clever guy. I mean, he's not just also a puncher. So, he has avenged both his blemishes by knockout. First, the loss to Tony Harrison, and then a draw, which many thought should have been a loss as well, to against Brian Castano. So in both cases, he won by a knockout in the late rounds, and he was, he caught them both coming in, and that's how he wins usually in these big fights by a knockout, by simply catching his opponents coming in. So that's gonna be dangerous for Canelo. He cannot really, risk it too much. He must be patient and look for his opening, instead of just charging at Charlo, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, Canelo is now, he's 33 years old, so but he's had many fights, already, so he's kind of a little bit older than his age, you might say, even because he has had so many big, big world class fights and world title fights, so yeah, he has lost twice so far, and both times on points by two slicker guys. Simple as that. So he can be outboxed, but we don't know yet if he can be really. I mean, he can be, I guess, knocked out. Everybody can, but can it be done by anybody now? I mean, and especially Charlo, who is coming up from 154, and how will his punching power be at 168? You know, that's a big question. So, yeah, I mean, Charlo is, yeah, as I said, he avenged both his the loss and draw by a knockout. So that is, of course, impressive. So you can never look past him, even though I think most of us probably favor Canelo to win this fight. I think nobody can really look past Jamal Charlo either. Yeah, I don't know really. I mean, I think of course Canelo with his being much longer at 168 than Charlo and having so much experience from big fights, really important fights against elite level opponents. He should be able to get to get the better to figure out Charles, simple as that, and get the better of him. However, there is this danger, of course, as I said, being caught coming in and at least dropped, if not knocked out. Even if he gets knocked down a couple of times, it can affect, of course, the scoring. Can go against him in the end. I don't really expect anybody to win by a knockout here. Let that be said. I That's not something I expect. However, I'm not saying it can't happen. Of course, that can well happen. We've seen before in fights. I mean, most guys never expected to end in a knockout. They have ended sometimes in a knockout. So I mean, like Crawford versus Spence, right? I think most of us expected that to go the distance and be decided by the judges, but instead Crawford just destroyed Spence, and yeah, same can well happen here if the weight gain affects Charlo negatively. Then I can see Canelo doing the same to him that he did to Caleb Plant and yeah, guys like that. So yeah, if, however, if it proves that Charlo has grown comfortably into this new weight, that can be a problem for Canelo because Canelo is never going to be a big guy at this weight, despite everything. He is a strong guy, as I said. He is stocky, he is growing to it, but however, he will never be a big guy. And he will never be the hardest hitting guy probably either. So let's be honest. I'm not saying that Charlo will, but I mean it's a lot about how you punch, not just how hard you punch, but when and how you punch. You throw your punches, of course. And Charlo seems to have perfected that science of throwing the right punch at the right time. And I'm not saying Canelo hasn't. Of course, he has. He has. But I think he is better as a body puncher, actually. While Charlo is better as a head puncher, definitely. And of course, Canelo being so much, well, being considerably shorter by about 4 inches, I think it would be hard for Charlo to catch him, you know, to the body. So he will be focusing on his head, definitely, just like pretty much like Caleb Plant did. So yeah, of course Canelo, being the shorter guy, will be going to the body a lot and try to just throw Charlo off his balance. I think it will be probably. I don't see anything, but I really like dogfight happening. Because neither of those guys play chess. They don't play chess. Charlo, even when he was a more of a boxer, he still, he would engage in it. He would, mix it up. And Canelo, of course, you know him. He hasn't been in many boring fights for sure. So yeah, as I said, I don't expect a knockout happening, really, but there is a slight chance of it happening. Yes, I think honestly, I don't know. As I said, things depend on whether Charlo will grow into this weight, whether it will affect him or not. If it does affect him, Canelo wins, no doubt about it. If it does not affect him negatively, then anything can happen. And Canelo being, now, a little bit shop worn, you might say, is beginning to get a little shop worn, and Charlo having far less fights than him and far less big fights. You do the math. You know what I mean. It is a dangerous fight for Canelo, no doubt about it. However, I think he will likely look to put on at least maybe one last great performance, you know, or one of his last anyway. And yeah, of course, the Bivol fight kind of proved to everybody that he is not unbeatable. I mean, they knew that already, but Floyd Mayweather was one thing; he was something else. But he's not unbeatable, or with other fighters either. It's just that nobody really, except for Triple G, you might say, knew how to beat him, how to fight him, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think the most logical still prediction would be to go for a Canelo win on points. Yes, I think so. And being so popular, of course, even if the fight is like that, even I don't doubt that he will probably get the decision still. And as I said, probably the only way Charlo can win is if he manages to, catch Canelo coming in and at least drop him, and just if not even knock him out, So, but that's gonna be hard to do, definitely. Yeah, I think, yeah. But if anybody can do it, I mean, probably Charlo is one of the few guys right now in that division that can do it. Maybe David Morrell and David Benavidez can also do it, but we don't know yet. We'll see. So there you go. In the end, I went with Canelo on points. All right, and this is no secret. I'll be also rooting for Canelo to win. I didn't really do that much before, but now, yes. But this has nothing to do with that. My prediction, as I said, Charlo can also win if he, but he will be probably depending on getting Canelo down at least, maybe even a couple of times. So yeah, all right. So there was that. My prediction for Canelo versus Charlo. Can't wait, really. I'm sure you can't either. All right. See you. Bye.